Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the August meeting of the East Central Independent School District Board of Trustees to order. Let the record show that we have a quorum of members present. Moving on to agenda item 2, prayer and the pledge. Mr. Toscano, please.
So, Mr. President, I'd like to call John Glenn up to the podium to get the meeting started off.
Good evening, Mr. Bryant, Mr. Toscano, and members of the board, and all of you present this evening. It is my pleasure to open the board meeting, and I have with me two wonderful students from John Glenn, two of our third graders, as they've just been newly inducted tonight at Meet the Teacher Night. It's been an awesome day. I always love to come over here after that, because I am so energized and so excited about the start of this new year. It's just amazing to see all those smiling faces and to capture all those wonderful hugs. So I have going to start us off this evening. Is going to be Ethan Knopf. He's going to say the pledges. Did I do it wrong? Say it wrong. Knopf. I got my emphasis on the wrong syllable there. Ethan Knopf. And Miss Caitlin Kniper is going to lead us in the pledge.
Good evening. Please stand and join me in the pledges.
Thank you, sweetie. Thank you very much.
This is a great district. It's a small district. Fighting with the big guys, but we are definitely a great thing, and that's because we have the foundation of your leadership. So thank you so much for that and your unwavering support of all that we do here.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Gorman. And thank you, Caitlin and Ethan. We appreciate you guys starting our meeting out this evening. I had the pleasure of meeting both of them before the meeting and got some very warm smiles and handshakes. So thank you for being here, and thank you for parents for supporting them tonight. Moving on, we'll go to our awards and recognitions. Do we have any awards and recognitions?
No, sir.
Okay.
None this evening.
And do we have anyone who signed up for public comments? Okay. We'll take a short break right after public comments, and anybody who needs to go prepare for homework can slide out. Maybe the rain will have abated by then. Thank you, ma'am. All right, we have Jim Martinez signed up first. Mr. Martinez, please. Yeah, please come up to the podium. We have a 5-minute time limit for you this evening. Please understand that the board may not interact with you unless your topic has something to do with something that's on our agenda, other than to take care of a statement of fact. So please, sir, go ahead.
pleading to maybe someone could reconsider a matter of talking to the right person. For my little, to have them finish myself, to my family, I wouldn't be here. But I'm reaching out to you guys tonight to just say, please, just reconsider. Let him finish out the year at John Glenn with his friends. I'm not one to. I've never believed in little ones being so down, but when I broke the news to him, that's he's taking it pretty hard. And like I said, I understand the boundaries. I get it. But along with that, I'm a UPS driver. I'm never home, but at one time I was out for almost 3 years, had back surgery. And I honestly believe with everything that was taken from us, I won't go into detail, the one thing that held him together was, or my kids together, was staying at East Central. I mean, that plain and simple. With this being taken from him, it hits home. I mean, just the face, his comments, Dad, why? That's my school. Dad, why don't they want me there, Dad? I'm a good kid. Tell him that I'll go to school every day. It just, as a dad, as a parent, I'm pleading, just reconsider. My wife makes the commute, whether they go there or not. She makes the commute there every day. I have 2 older ones at the high school, and she'll be taking them every day. And of course, as you know, John Glenn's right across the street. So transportation is not an issue. It's never been an issue. So like I said, I'm just here, just asking once again to just please find it in your heart as a dad up here, like I said, as a parent, just to reconsider and just let them finish out the year at John Glenn, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Victor Contreras.
Good evening. My name is Victor Contreras. I'm seeking your endorsement for the Texas Association of School Boards Director position for Region 20D. I've been on the Marion ISD School Board for 16 years and currently serve as Board Secretary. I previously served as Board President from 2007 to 2012 and 2014, 2016, and as Secretary from 2005 to 2007. I guess I can start off and let you know all my past experiences and commitment to Texas public education, or my commitment to go above and beyond what is asked of me. I'm a graduate of Leadership TASB in 2009, and I have the distinction as a Master Trustee. I've been on the LAC, or Legislative Advisory Council, and attend Grassroots since 2010. I'm founder and chairman of the Guadalupe Coalition of School Districts, where I was able to invite and meet with our state representative, John Kemple, Congressman Ruben Hinojosa, and Congressman Henry Cuellar in a lunch setting to talk over concerns that are facing our school district. I write a weekly news column in the Seguin Gazette newspaper, as well as the KWD Daily News, writing the articles in support of Texas public education. I am also a member of the organizations such as Make Education a Priority, SBAN, School Board Advocacy Network, which is a way TASB keeps us informed on what is happening in Austin. I also receive updates from NSBA, the National School Board Association, and if chosen or not, I will continue to write these articles, but we'll start including Go Public campaign, which will reach our end of the region. The real question is, what can I do as your TASB Region 20 Director? I will use the same approach I did as when I was a TASB 13 Director. I represented all the districts in the region. I give you that voice to state your concerns and to use our combined experiences for solutions that will be in the best interest of our district and our region. Advocacy starts with the regional TASB grassroots meetings. In those meetings, our regions will be able to come together to chart out what concerns are important to us and what we think the solution should be. When grassroots regions come together at the state meetings, we are able to see our concerns and solutions mirror the rest of the state. Advocacy is not only advocating on the local level, but at the state and national levels. With our state representatives, congressmen, senators, I regularly meet with our legislators on these levels. I have attended and advocated for public education on the national level at the FRN, or Federal Relations Network, in 2011, and Advocacy Institute in 2016, both in Washington, D.C. That's where the last one is where I met with Congressman Ruben Hinojosa and Congressman Henry Cuellar and their staff. The recent meeting was on the ESSA reauthorization and how it affected our districts. Let's see, I have testified also at the state level on the TRS, teacher retirement system issue. And I personally think they should be putting more money into it than the schools are. You know, the schools are paying more than they are. I have marched and rallied with fellow board members, teachers, and administrators at the Texas Capitol in support of more funding for the schools back in 2011 and continue to advocate for this. I'm a big anti-voucher advocate. I believe, the more money that goes away from public schools, the less we have. So most of these past accomplishments I have done prior or to being a TASB director. In running for these endorsements, I have taken the opportunity to visit as many of the Region 20 school board meetings that I can. I have traveled to the districts of Uvalde, Natalia, Pleasanton, Devine, Pearsall, and Poth so far to meet with school boards and members to introduce myself. I have used the social media outlets such as Facebook and email and LinkedIn, but just call me old-fashioned. I like to meet the board members from each of the individual board members and boards, and I have the greatest respect for each and every one of you. TASB continually questions on how we can be more effective directors. I truly believe the only way to accomplish this is on a personal note. If chosen, I will engage the districts in Region 20 quite often. Thank you for your service to your community. In closing, I hope you will consider supporting me as your TASB Region 20 director. I have the experience of having been on the TASB board and working with the other TASB regional directors. I think we, as board members, we just want to make a difference, and this is the way I feel I'm trying to make a difference. Besides, I see the children we affect in our schools, the children I mentor in our schools, and I think we owe it to them, or I owe it to them somehow. But and if you're wondering how I have time for everything I'm involved in, I'm a retired business owner. We used to have a Western Auto dealership and an automotive garage. Now I only have one boss, and that I've been married to for 39 years, my wife. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, Gary Inman.
President Bryant, members of the board, Superintendent Toscano. My name is Gary Inman. I'm board president over at Schertz Cibolo, Universal City, ISD, and I'm here tonight to talk on behalf of Robert Westbrook, who is also running for position on the TASB board. And before I make those comments, I just want to let you know that I did see a few weeks ago the obituary in the paper for Harold Damascus, and I know he got off the board probably about a decade ago or so, but he served back when I first got on my board, and I know he was a big part of helping with the Go Public and some of the other meetings we had about 15 years ago or so. So just want to pass on my condolences for Harold.
Thank you.
Yeah, just to echo what Victor said, I served on the TASB board itself for about 12 years, and I was fortunate enough to be the TASB president back in 2011, 2012, and I'm here in some sense supporting Mr. Westbrook in competition with Mr. Contreras, but I do want to say he's a fantastic man. The region certainly couldn't go wrong if they had him on the board as well. I mean, we've known each other for almost 20 years. He's an next door neighbor to us over there in Marion, and has certainly done a fantastic job as a trustee as well. So certainly not here to say anything bad about Mr. Contreras. And I think they're having fun going all across this area, campaigning together. I think they've eaten at the best barbecue restaurant in San Antonio at 20 different places now. Just having a good time. And Robert picked me tonight to come out here, I think, running for the TASB board for quite some time, representing Region 20, which is basically the San Antonio area. And just recently, Victor's board voted to move from Region 13 to Region 20. So unfortunately, he had to to step down from the TASB board because his seat was no longer in Region 13, and that's why we're having this situation to some extent. So I'll tell you, Robert has been involved quite a bit here in Region 20. I mean, he's done all the various local meetings, the Go Publics, you know, being involved with Leadership TASB, other things that we've had around this area. So I think most of you hopefully had a chance to meet him over the years, but certainly a good man as well, would do a great job representing Region 20 on the TASB board. I understand this is one of the last agenda items you have on for tonight. So if you guys are anything like us, you probably get to that around midnight or so. Hopefully not. But I do want to encourage you to support Mr. Westbrook. In any case, it's going to end up going before the TASB board, and I got a feeling that the delegate assembly in Houston in September is probably going to end up making the final decision. But on behalf of Mr. Westbrook, I would certainly appreciate your support and endorsement for him. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary. All right. We're going to take a short 5-minute recess and let those of y'all who would like to go home and visit with family. There's no homework to be done yet, but maybe you're getting ready for homework. So we're going to take a short 5-minute recess and let y'all get out of here, and it has quit raining, so that's
Skate while you can.
okay. We're going to get started again. Moving on to agenda item 5, we have a public hearing to discuss proposed budget and tax rate. At this time, if anyone would like to speak to our proposed budget and tax rate, you should now come forward. All right. Having no one come forward, we will move on to our agenda item 6, superintendent's reports.
Sir, Mr. President, trustees, if you could follow along with me in your August and September calendar. A few events that I'd like to point out. Very busy calendars. Of course, Ms. Zatz has dressed those up to your preference, particularly you, Mr. Mulkey. Very user-friendly and very entertaining format, as I think you would all agree. First day of school is Monday. We all know that. If you'll look riddled throughout the calendar this month and next, you'll see Meet the Teachers and different campus welcome back events. Certainly those in your district, they'd love to see you. You've got your new ID badge there if you'd like to wear it when you visit. They'd love to have you. Also, you'll notice that our first Friday night football game at home is on the 26th, as well as all the other athletic events that have kicked off for fall seasons. If you need any athletic passes, tickets, anything of that sort, we'll be getting those to you soon if we haven't already. And of course, if you need any of that, be sure to call my office and let me know that. In September, on the 15th is our next regularly scheduled meeting. We have a student holiday on the 19th, and then TASB is in Houston this year, and that's going to start on the 23rd and run through the 25th. You're already registered, and Ms. Zotz will be sending out the first of a couple of information emails regarding confirmation, hotel accommodations, and that sort of thing. And then lastly, on the 28th, we have an early release for students.
And personnel reports.
Yes, sir. On page 11, you'll find this month's activity out of the personnel department. We do have a new maintenance coordinator, as you are aware. You've seen his name, Mr. Stephen Freer. Not spelled like Freer, but pronounced like Freer. He and his wife are here tonight, and I wanted to formally introduce him to you guys and to the team that's here in attendance and the community that's here in attendance. We're very excited to have him. He has spent his entire career in the military with a little hiatus in between in non-active duty in the private sector, but his primary responsibility was, in essence, construction and project management, which is exactly what we were looking for. He has leadership experience, and he has experience in construction and project management, maintenance operations. So, Mr. Preer? Well, he was told that he can say a few words, but he said, will a little dance routine serve. And I said, as long as it's entertaining.
Now, just real quick, I'd like to thank the board and Mr. Toscano for having me here tonight. For the 2 weeks I've been here, open arms welcome, warm welcome from the whole team, at East Central, especially Matt Morgan and Linda. The bosses are just open arms, helped me out, guided me through since I'm not, school district professional and everything about school districts, but I'm learning my way through it. Hopefully we can get to make this department, to be one of the tops in the district, the top department in the district, where everybody looks at and is happy we're around. We're always here to help. I'm from Corpus Christi, going to Texas, spent my career in the military, and ended up here in San Antonio where I'm retired. And my wife for 26 years is here. We have 2 great girls, 25 and 22 years old. One's married, both of them are in college, so had to go to work at the Air Force. So,
He just retired 2 weeks ago, didn't you?
I had 4 days of retirement. But again, I appreciate everybody having me here and open arms to ease. Thank you.
Welcome, Script.
Welcome to East Central. We hope you have a long and very successful career here with us. Mother personnel report, is that?
Yeah, that's it.
the rest
That's
of
it
it's
this
in
month. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And then we have Board Update 105.
Yes, sir. Trustees, this will be the first reading of Update 105. As usual, I've included the vantage points in your miscellaneous packet for your review this month. And of course, as always, as you review each of those recommended updates, give my office a call. If you have any questions or need additional information, we'll provide that for you. And of course, it'll be on the agenda next month for your consideration and approval of those local policies that we'll be amending.
All right. Moving on to our action agenda. Item A, the 2015-2016 amended budget and information.
Sir, Mr. President, trustees, per statute, the district is to present the amended budget for the 15-16 year. It is located in your electronic packet beginning on page 17 if you'd like to follow along. Ms. Burns has eagerly jumped up to the microphone for her first official
I don't know how.
amended
eagerly-
budget presentation as our new official CFO. And so take it easy on her. Yeah, I know you guys were talking about some of the questions they were going to fire at you, so
Okay, far away.
you fire away. She says bring it. That's what I'm talking about. Ms. Burns?
Thank you, Mr. Toscano and Mr. Bryan and the board. As most of y'all know, when I come to these board meetings, I sit in the very back and I critique when Jim gives his presentation. And so now it's him critiquing me.
Oh, boy.
So I hope I can make him proud. So let's start with the amended budget. And as y'all know, y'all approved this budget last August. And we had 6 amendments this year. And so those amendments are included in here, as well as kind of cleaning up a few line items we needed to clean up. So basically, page 18 is the amended budget for the general fund, the special revenue fund, which is child nutrition, debt service, and construction. And basically, what you're going to be approving is this page. All the pages behind it, just reference to this, just gives you see it in a different light. But really, what you're approving is page 18. The amended budget for the general fund is for expenditures $80,846,471, which we're going to go with the deficit on paper of $104,000. We have been extremely lucky this year and blessed that our tax collection has been above average. We also have had a higher enrollment, so that gives us more state money. All of that will entail that we're not going to be hitting fund balance like we thought we would be when we went to the budget amendments. As of right now, it looks on paper that we're going to be in the red by $104,000. But as all of y'all know, our budget stewards are extremely conservative, and they don't ask for things they don't need. I think we can leave on the table 2 to 3%, so that will even help us to build our fund balance for all the projects that the district is wanting to go for next year. I won't say a number because everything, but I think we'll be doing good whenever the audit is presented in December. Our special revenue fund is going to go in the negative by $2 million, but that was designed to go in the negative because child nutrition programs ran so well that they make too much money. And what that means is they have to reduce that, otherwise they get penalized. So they met and did some really good kitchen projects that they. So that's the reason why that account is going to go into the negative. And then we have debt service, and we'll be spending $28,823,394, and that number seems kind of large, but it's only because that we refunded the bonds. And there's a lot of book entries that you have to make when you refund bonds. So it was never money that went out. It was just paper entries. Basically, we only expended a little over $8 million. And then with the construction fund, it's the time of the year where we have to, because we sold the bonds in August, we have to book that revenue in the construction fund in August, and we'll make a little bit of interest, and then we'll be paying a few bills of the architects before the end of the year. So basically, our total expenditures will be $118,106,860, and our total revenue for those four accounts will be $158,927,669. And basically, we spend 61% of our money on instruction, which means that that's money for the students, the teachers. It's not for administration. So I feel like we do a very excellent job of spending our money where it should go to. And if I'm not going to go through every page because I know we have other things to go through, like the budget, but I will tell you that on the page 19, our average daily attendance this last year was 9,342 students in average daily attendance, and the per pupil cost of the general fund is $8,650.45. If y'all would like for me to go through every page, I'll be glad to. Or if y'all have just some questions y'all like to ask, I'll do whichever you'd like for it to be presented to y'all. So just tell me if you want me to go through more pages of this, or if you would like to ask any questions.
Anyone have any questions of Ms. Burns? We always made Jim go through every page, but we won't do that to you tonight, okay?
Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome. And we did notice before that you always sat in the back of the room, okay? No, it's okay. It's really good. All right. Thank you, Judy. Does anyone have any questions on the budget? If not, Mr. Toscano.
Yes, sir. Trustees, I recommend board approval of the 2015-2016 amended budget and information as presented by Ms. Burns.
Thank you. We have a recommendation from the superintendent to accept the 2015-2016 amended budget. Chair will entertain a motion. We have a motion by Mr. Garza. Is there a second? We have a second by Mr. Massengale. Any questions, comments? Everyone's done an exceptional job this year with that budget. As always, you've been very, very conservative with spending, and we thank all of the budget stewards who are sitting out in the audience this evening, and the fine work of Jim and Judy with managing that stuff. So, all right. With that, we are voting on the 2015-2016 amended budget. All in favor? Yes? All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, ma'am. Next item is discussion and adoption of the 2016-2017 proposed budget.
Now that she's got a full repetition in, she's well-oiled and ready to go to present the board the 2016-17 budget for your consideration tonight. That budget is in your packet, electronic, and starts on page 26. Ms. Burns?
Thank you. The proposed budget for 16-17, I am very proud to say, is a balanced budget for our general fund. All the budget stewards worked very hard developing their budget, and we were able to have it a balanced budget, which I think is commendable on all of their parts for doing their part of maintaining a good budget. The proposed budget is similar to the amended budget, so it's on page 28, and it's broken down again into 4 funds: general fund, special revenue, debt service, and construction. Our general fund, our revenue and our expenditures will be the same, $82,604,632. Our special revenue fund will go into fund balance by $276,724. Again, that's designed to bring their fund balance down to stay in compliance. The debt service, you won't see any of those big refunding paper entries that you have to have. So our debt service, including payments for the 2016 bond, is going to be $9,087.922, and we will have more money made from the revenue than we'll expend, and that comes from interest and P&I. And the construction fund, we hope to achieve around $154,000 in interest, and we are, per our drop schedule, we'll be spending around $21 million. So basically, our total expenditures for 16-17 will be $119,181,576. It looks like we're going in the hole by $21 million, but remember again that I can only enter the bond construction money one time, and that was entered in this school year. So if we look at the pages behind it, you'll see on page 29 that we project our average daily attendance will go up to 9,604 students, and I want to reaffirm that with the principals, because we need the kids there in order to come up with that average daily attendance. And then we have a per pupil cost of $8,600.81. And I will, if you look at the top, one thing that I think is I think it's an issue, is that you will notice that every year the state sources is going down and the local sources are going up. That means the more our value goes up and the more that our taxpayers pay, the less the state pays. And basically, we're getting around 200 to 300 more students this year, but our state money is going down. And you say, well, Judy, how come is that? Well, it's because the state, our local fund assignment went up by $5 million. So instead of taking $25 million away from us like they did this year, they're going to take away $30 million from us. So I think that's an issue for school districts. And so if we just go further on, it's the same pages that you've had before, and I will be more than happy to go over any page that you'd like to, or any questions that you'd have about the budget.
Anyone have any questions for Judy? I think we're good.
Okay, y'all aren't scared of me, are you? I will say, if you don't mind, I would like to thank all the budget stewards for their dedication and their hard work. I really want to thank Jim. He's been wonderful to work with. He's been a mentor, and so it's going to be hard to be up here and not say Jim and Judy. So it's going to be a little different. And I also will say that the first year I did the budget, I thought I was in tall cotton because the budget was $3 million. I am just amazed at what it is now. But thank y'all for the opportunity.
Give us another week to get scared of you, Judy.
Okay.
We might make it. All right. Mr. Toscano, please.
Yes, sir. I recommend board approval of the 2016-2017 school district budget as presented.
We have a recommendation from the superintendent to adopt the 2016-2017 budget as presented. Chair will entertain a motion. We have a motion by Mr. Massengale. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second by Ms. Brazil. Any questions, comments? Thank you all for your hard work. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. It's nice to see you sitting closer up to the front, Judy. Okay. All right. So now, discussion and adoption of 2016 tax rate. Mr. Toscano, please.
Sir, Mr. President, at this time, the board has the opportunity to consider the tax rate that is necessary to levy in order to maintain operations of our school district. Proposed for your consideration tonight is a maintenance and operations tax rate of $1.04 per $100 of assessed value, which is what it was last year, and an INS, or interest in sinking, tax rate of 24.5 cents per $100 of assessed value. If you'll recall, last year it was 22 cents. We've sold the first $43 million in bonds, and as we mentioned to you after the sale, we were very pleased with the rate, and in concert with the increased values, we were actually able to only increase INS by 2 cents when we were projecting, or what we projected when we talked to the community about approving the bond, in the neighborhood of 8 or 9 cents. So with that, we're proposing for your consideration tonight a tax rate of a total of $1.28.5 per $100 of assessed value. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have at this time.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Toscano? No questions. All right. I think everybody had a handout in their folder for tonight that showed that we're currently number 3 on the list for total tax rate, third lowest in the county. So still good news for the community. We have a recommendation from the superintendent to adopt tax rate as presented. Chair will entertain a motion. We have a motion by Mr. Mulkey. Is there a second? Second. We have a second by Mr. Garza. Any other questions, comments? Not, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item D, approval of Section 125 Flexible Benefit Plan.
Yes, sir. Trustees, in an effort to provide a broader range of benefits for our employees, the district is expanding its flexible benefit plan in accordance with Section 125 of the IRS Code. Some adjustments that we've made this year to improve the plan includes a flexible spending account. We've added a new carrier for vision, as well as our health savings account benefit. And we also are proposing an increase of the dollar amount of elected benefits employees can purchase through salary reduction or the cafeteria plan, which would be a pre-tax benefit from $18,500 to $20,000 for the year. The proposed flexible benefit plan begins on page 39 in your packet and will be effective September 1st with your approval. I'd be happy to answer any additional questions if you have any.
Anybody have any questions? I think we're good.
Okay.
You have a recommendation?
Yes, sir. Trustees, I recommend board approval of the attached Section 125 Flexible Benefit Plan and Adoption Agreement to be effective September 1, 2016.
All right. We have a recommendation from the superintendent to accept the Section 125 Flexible Benefit Plan Agreement. Chair will entertain a motion. We have a motion by Ms. Brazil. Is there a second? Second. We have a second by Mr. Massengale. Any questions, concerns? No? All right. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item E, Student and Athletic Insurance Proposal.
Trustees, this is a proposal for your consideration tonight to provide student accident insurance coverage, which the district has always provided, and this is specifically designed for students participating in UIL activities. If you'll recall, the district provides this to students who participate in UIL activities, but this is not a primary insurance. This is meant to support or to supplement their primary insurance should they get injured in participating in a UIL activity. There is also an option for additional voluntary plans, which for the one-time fee listed, it could serve as their primary plan. The plan, if they didn't have any insurance coverage, could provide some financial support for injuries, again, that qualify while participating in UIL activities. But again, that's per the fee schedule, depending on the type of injury and the associated value of that per the plan. This is a product that we've offered, and we offer about every 6 years, and we renew it at that point. This year we chose to go out for proposals, and we ended up, what we're going to be recommending tonight is the brokerage store, which we've been using. The benefit is by taking it out to proposal, we were able to get a rate that saved the district just under $12,000 to provide the same product for our kids and families. So I'd be happy to answer any additional questions regarding the accident insurance coverage for students.
Anyone have any questions? So the voluntary student coverage is presented to students and parents during student enrollment?
Yes, sir, in athletic participation, when they complete the paperwork, when they're doing their physicals, all of those sorts of, when they get their athletic packet, the option, the paperwork will be sent home for them to choose if they want to elect the voluntary, but the coverage is there for all kids, whether they take the voluntary.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, great. Any other questions?
You said the coverage is that even if they don't have any insurance?
So if they don't have insurance, then the primary will be this coverage, but the coverage is limited to, again, injuries that have to occur during the activity. And so they have to qualify. And then depending on the nature of the injury, there's a maximum coverage amount. So generally, it wouldn't cover all of the medical expenses. So it's meant really to augment or support primary coverage.
This coverage won't kick in until they use their own insurance first, is what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
And this coverage will come in.
Yes, sir.
What's
And
the premium for
so it costs the student and family nothing.
that? Nothing.
Yes, sir, but there's some voluntary student coverage that they could add. So if a child didn't have any, if the family didn't have any insurance, they could add, for example, for a one-time fee of $115, anything that happens while they're at school or at a school activity, it would be covered as their primary insurance for a one-time fee of $115. But otherwise, they are covered per the policy with no fee.
All right, any other questions? All right, I believe we're ready for your recommendation.
Sir, Mr. President, I recommend board approval of the proposed insurance plans offered through the brokerage store in the types and amounts as detailed above.
Thank you. We have a recommendation from the superintendent to accept the quotes for the insurance plans from the brokerage store. Chair will entertain a motion.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Garza. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second by Ms. Brazil. Any other questions, comments? If not, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item F, approval of proposals for hog pen concrete project.
Yes, sir. Trustees, as we discussed last month, we're making some improvements, capital improvements to the agri-science facility at the high school. One phase of those improvements includes concrete being poured in the animal pens, particularly the hog pens. We went out for proposal with your approval last month. A tabulation of the proposals that we received are included in your packet on page 72. The proposals were evaluated for relevant experience and past performance, project management ability, and meeting schedule, the financial strength of the contractor, as well as the subcontractor and supplier support capability, and lastly, price. Although we're not going to be recommending the lowest bid, We are going to be recommending the company that scored the highest on the evaluation matrix, as well as the company that completed all aspects of the bid proposal as required. And so tonight, for your consideration, we would like to recommend board approval of R.O. Rohde General Contracting Incorporated for the Hog Pen Concrete Project at a proposed cost of $69,500.
All right, we have a recommendation from the superintendent to approve the proposal from R.L. Rohde General Contracting. Chair will entertain a motion. We have a motion by Mr. Massengale. Is there a second? We have a second by Mr. Garza. Any questions, comments?
I was just curious, such a difference in the bids or hog pen.
Yes, ma'am. So the company there that was the lowest bidder actually acknowledged that they received an addendum that was part of it, but we suspect that they didn't address that addendum in their bid proposal. They were significantly off of the average proposal. They also don't have any experience in school construction, so we think they might have just missed the mark this time in their bid.
So for those of you who can't see the tabulation, there was a $39,000 difference between the low bid and the bid that we're accepting, which is rather significant and makes you wonder about their competency in filling out paperwork as well as doing construction. So thank goodness we no longer have to take the lowest estimate, the lowest bid, and we can use some other criteria to evaluate folks. All right, any other questions? If not, we have a recommendation from the superintendent to approve the estimate from R.L. Rohde General Contracting for Hog Pen Concrete Project at a proposed cost of $69,500. Chair will entertain a motion. Oh, we did that. We were doing comments, weren't we?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. And I had even written it down. Judy, maybe I am scared of you. Maybe that week crept up on me really quick. All right. Agenda item 8, consent agenda. Does any board member wish to have an item pulled from the consent agenda? If not, Chair will entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented. We have a motion by Mr. Garza. Is there a second? We have a second by Mr. Mulkey. The consent agenda is approved via unanimous consent. At this time, the Board of Trustees on August the 18th, 2016, beginning at 7:30 p.m., convened in a closed meeting in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, Government Code Sections 551.071, consultation with attorney, and 551.074, personnel matters. All right. The board ended its closed meeting at 9:12 p.m. on August the 18th, 2016. No action was taken in the closed meeting. All right, before we adjourn, do you have anything else for us, Mr. Toscano?
No, sir.
All right. In that case, Chair will entertain a motion for adjournment. We have multiple motions and multiple seconds. We are adjourned via unanimous consent.